I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Five-star General John Kelly, who was Tribulation Trump's White House Chief of Staff, well, I'm about to forget that, got ticked off the other day when Trump said something about General Mark Milley, that General Mark Milley should be executed. Well, John Kelly just said he's had enough. And he's now began to say the kinds of things that he was able to privately see Trump do and say when he was his White House Chief of Staff. So I'm gonna let you listen to this clip of General John Kelly. But my problem is this, and I'll say this a little bit more emphatically in just a moment. And I suppose they got an answer, but my problem is that why did John Kelly, why did Mark Meadows, why did any of these Reince Priebus, why did any of these people serve Trump in the first place? But I suppose, like myself, I endorsed Trump because I said, well, he's going to help me vindicate my church and myself about Obama and the birth certificate. So I endorsed him. I didn't endorse him because I thought he was a great person or he'd make a great president. That's not really why I endorsed him. I endorsed him because I thought he was going to help me pull our church out from all these threats that were coming at us like 90 going north. But he turned out and turned on me too. So I'll tell you, Michael Cohen is right. Trump will turn on you like black people turn on good people. No, Trump turned on me. I endorsed him. And then he turned right around and said Obama was born in Honolulu. I said, well, doggone, I reckon doggone. Then he turned around and said he's going to be better to the LGBTQ people than Hillary Clinton could be. He turned on me. He turns on everybody. Trump turns on, he gonna turn on you. That's just what he does. Trump is like a topsy-turvy. Anyway, so John Kelly is dropping the bomb about, I'll let you look at it. Go ahead, Messenger. Bring up clip number one.
As we learned from the jaw-dropping revelations in a piece in The Atlantic in 2020 by Jeffrey Goldberg, Donald Trump's view as president of those who served their country was almost unimaginably cruel. He called those Americans who sacrificed their lives for the country, quote, losers and, quote, suckers. He did not ever want to see amputees. He didn't want them included in military parades because, quote, Donald Trump said, nobody wants to see that, end quote. And now for the very first time, those stories are being confirmed by a man who was there when they happened, in the room when it happened. It's Donald Trump's former White House Chief of Staff, the retired U.S. Marine Corps General John Kelly. In a searing takedown of his ex-boss, the president, John Kelly tells CNN this, quote, what can I add that has not already been said? A person who thinks that those who defend their country in uniform or are shot down or seriously wounded in combat or spend years being tortured as POWs are suckers because there is nothing in it for them? A person that did not want to be seen in the presence of military amputees because, quote, it doesn't look good for me? A person who demonstrated open contempt for a Gold Star family, for all Gold Star families on TV during the 2016 campaign, and rants that our most precious heroes who gave their lives in America's defense are losers and wouldn't visit their graves in France? It was John Kelly for the first time putting that indictment of Donald Trump's character and lack of fitness on the record.
Mr. Engineer, the issue here with, I think that, in fact, I keep saying that term, so I'm going to stop using that term, think. Here's the deal. The average human being, most human beings, have a sense within their spiritual and moral and social makeup of sympathy and empathy, and not a lot of people have it, but some people, and then some people even have mercy and altruism, a whole lot of strange words. And the average person looking at Trump will think that he possesses those qualities as well, and get upset when he doesn't show some altruism or doesn't show some empathy or show some sympathy, they think he's just covering it up. He could do it, but he doesn't do it. Because most people born of a woman are born with a little bit of empathy, a little bit of sympathy, a little bit of altruism. Now, some people are born with a whole lot of it, like me, for instance. And some people were born with just a little bit, but they have enough to season their life. Trump don't have none of that. And that's the problem. And people keep expecting Trump to show some altruism. And I never watched The Apprentice. This is the absolute truth as I stand before Almighty God. His name is Jesus. I never watched one episode of The Apprentice. I don't watch stuff like that. I got other things to do. Watch some guy sit there and say you're fired. I heard about it, but I never watched one episode. I understand it was on for years. You know, I live in New York, so Trump is in New York. I know it's Trump Tower, all kinds of Trump's name on a whole lot of buildings around New York, and so I saw that. But I didn't pay very much attention to the guy, quite frankly, until I was a birthday when he stood up and said Obama's birth certificate was a fake. I said, oh, I'm listening to him. And so I endorsed him as a result of that. But the issue is this. It's what the presidency has done is that brought Trump to on a national scale, an international scale, where everybody's observing him. And people think that Trump he should show some empathy and sympathy. He doesn't have it. You know, he doesn't have that. I have a better opportunity of shooting more three-pointers than what's that boy that shoot on them three-pointers name? What's his name? Y'all know. Anyway, you know the boy. He shoots all them three-pointers all the time. I have a better shot at outshooting him than Trump does. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have empathy. There's no point in getting mad with him. He doesn't have sympathy. No point in getting mad with him. He doesn't have it. And I'm not saying you should embrace him. I'm just take him off the scene. I'm not saying take him out. God forbid, I'm not saying that. But he doesn't have it. All right, okay, Mr. Engineer. Open that woman's eyes. She's sitting there with her eyes closed like she fell asleep on my preaching. Hit that button so she'll open.
Never his part.
Yeah. Oh, wake up.
Donald Trump was asked to comment about Kelly, and he said this. Kelly, quote, totally clowned himself with these debunked stories he's made up, end quote. So John Kelly was Trump's longest-serving White House chief of staff, and he had a very personal exchange with the ex-president at Arlington National Cemetery that was chronicled in that Atlantic piece. This is from that piece, quote, the two men were set to visit Section 60, the 14-acre area of the cemetery that is the burial ground for those killed in America's most recent wars. Kelly's son, Robert, is buried in Section 60. A first lieutenant in the Marine Corps, Robert Kelly was killed in 2010 in Afghanistan. He was 29 years old. Trump was on this.
Okay, so Trump is out there in this Arlington Cemetery with General Kelly, whose son was killed, right? 29 years old. And he's buried out there in Arlington. And Trump turns to John Kelly and says, I don't get it. And he's serious. He said, why did they do that? Why would you give your life for your country? He's not trying to be cute or stupid. He doesn't possess the quality of empathy. The man is devoid of it. That's how come he can lie the way he does. And, I mean, anybody who thinks Trump is a human being, he's a servant of Satan. I got a teaching I'm going to do. I'll get to it. Is that Obama, the long-legged Mac Daddy, corrupted Christianity. Trump, the servant of Satan, the tribulation, corrupted the Constitution. Both CC, you get the idea. I like to do things like that, alphabetical things like that. Corrupted Christianity. Obama corrupted Christianity. Ain't no Christianity. By the way, you brothers out there, pastors, notice your church is emptied out over the past 15 years. You know, you may not have had a mega church, but before Obama, but at least you have people coming. After Obama has corrupted Christianity. You can't get none of these young people to come to church. They ain't coming to your church. And the old people don't care. If it had not been for Obama, brother pastor, you still have a decent congregation. All the churches in Harlem are shut down, tighter than a drum, bulldozing over. So Obama corrupted Christianity, and Trump corrupted the Constitution. So, the thinking that somehow or another that Trump is going to respond, he doesn't have you can't get mad with him. Look at him. Look in his eyes. He doesn't have that quality. The boy is a freak. He's a freak. He's a psychopath, and not that he has to be a mean person. He doesn't have those qualities. When he said he don't understand why anybody would die for their country, he really means that. Why would you give your life for a country? Why would you do that for, what was in it for you? That's what he said. What's in it for you? Why would you give your life? Why would you die for a country? Trump don't understand that. He really does not. I mean, he's not being funny or trying to be cute or trying to write some new philosophical. He doesn't know sympathy. The man is devoid of a whole lot of qualities. He's devoid of the truth. It's another thing. He doesn't have the truth. Obama is devoid of the same problem. Obama doesn't have. Obama's devoid of sympathy and empathy. They're servants of Satan. And one of the qualities of being that close to Satan, being the son of Satan, the servant of Satan, is that you don't have those qualities. Anybody you could not serve Satan the way Obama served Satan. Look at how listen, Obama has turned the national school system in America into a pedophile camp. It is at a school all across America is pedophilia. Everywhere you look now, they're teaching sexuality, and then they're teaching that you need to be hygiene, you need to be clean, and once you become a young woman, you're going to have a menstrual period, and you have to do this and that and the other. You can become pregnant, and then the young man, once you become seated, you can make a young breast. That's the kind of sex education that perhaps some schools would venture to do. They're not teaching that. They're teaching, listen, you don't like your sex organ? Cut it off. Give it to the girl down the street. Hey, Sam, you were born with a penis and testicles. You don't like it? Cut it off. There's a girl down the street says she wants to be a boy. Cut it off and give it to her, and she'll take hers and give it to you. And they're teaching it in the schools to 4 and 5 years old. The schools have become pedophile armed camps under Obama. And under Trump, the Constitution has crumbled. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. We'll never put it back together again. This just isn't going to happen. I've had enough of this, Mr. India. Get rid of that guy. I've had enough. So this is where we are and what's happening in America today. But the basic thing is Trump, he doesn't. You're asking the man to do something that's impossible for him to do. You're asking him to understand something which he has no capabilities of understanding. Not making money and lying and probably having sex with Stormy Daniels or whoever else, and drinking a Diet Coke and eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and flying around on a big jet. That he understands. But he's missing the qualities. I mean, he's a rare individual, but Obama is too. Obama is absent those same qualities. He just doesn't, I put a sign out on our announcement board out that Obama, in 8 years, Obama only came to Harlem once. He had no sympathy for black people. He doesn't. I mean, I was teaching the other day, the reason why he rejected Tavis Smiley and Cornel West is because they would have made him look like what he really is, a fake. Obama has no sympathy. He has no empathy. He doesn't understand. He was raised up in Honolulu on a surfboard. They don't understand nothing about being in the hood. They don't know how to duck back in the alley. And neither does Trump. Now, you can't be angry with them because of that, because they were born as who they are. Anyway, I thought you might want to hear me say that.